Good evening, everybody. This is Huge Pop from the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. My host, co-host, Rudy Gonzalez. Tonight's our guest. She was a six-time OVW Women's Champion, a two-time Women of Wrestling Tag Team Champion with Haley J, two-time IWA Mid-South Champion. She has held head of female relations on OVW. She's a producer of OVW television broadcast. She's also appeared on Netflix series The Rustlers. Welcome to the show. Amazing Maria, Big Rig Betty, and another name she goes by is Maria James. Welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you. What an introduction. Wow. Also, Smokey, say hello.
Hi, Smokey.
This is my road dog cat. He he decided he was joining today. I don't know.
There you go. That's fine with me. Like I said, we're raw here. We don't care what you say. You just let it go. We don't even care about visitors. Come on in to the Huge Pop Entertainment. It's been fun. Thank you, Rudy Gonzalez, again for setting this up. It's amazing. It's been an amazing time, amazing run with Rudy. So the question I have to start the whole thing off is, how did you first get into professional wrestling, and who were your biggest influencers?
It's so funny. It's everybody's question. So I feel like I'm like, man, everybody already knows this about me. But I got into wrestling kind of late. Like I didn't start wrestling until 30, but I loved wrestling my entire life and I always wanted to be a part of wrestling. Got into some trouble and stuff when I was younger. Had two younger kids, like I had my kids young, and I was a single mom, so I didn't want to like drag two babies around trying to go to training and shows and things like that. So I waited until I think Haley was probably around 10 to 12 when I first started. Let's see, I think she was like 9 or 10 when I first got into the wrestling business, and I was a photographer for our high school and for our youth football division, basketball, things like that. I was a sports photographer, and I found this girl I went to high school with was married to a guy who ran an indie promotion, and I became their photographer. So for my first 3 years of being in the wrestling business, I was a photographer, and because I could go, just to the show and be there for a couple hours and then go back home. And if my son, who was 12 at the time, didn't want to go, he's 12, he's okay at being at home a couple hours by himself. But Haley would always go with me. And then she, the whole time she's like, Mom, you want to do this. You should just go ahead and train. You should do it. You should do it. You should do it. And so Haley gave me that little push to actually start training. And I just waited until they were old enough to like be able to either want to go with me or be okay to stay home while I was gone to train or to a show or whatever it may be.
So training. So I know this is probably another question you always get asked. So what was the process like to pick out the training camp, the training facility? Who was going to train you? How did you come up with your decision who to train with?
So when I first got into indie wrestling, there wasn't anything relatively close to me. Where I'm from is over 2 hours away from Louisville, where OVW is.
Okay.
And I was living in this podunk little town called Dunville, Kentucky. Lived there my whole life, grew up there. The closest indie promotion to me was about 45 minutes away. So when I first started doing photography for that company, they were like, yeah, we'll train you. It was not a good idea. So my first year of training was horrendous. Like that, I wasn't trained properly. Um, it was terrible. I went to like a second after about a year. I went to a second indie promotion to get training, and it was almost just as bad. Like the promoter was not a very good person. Like I told this story at Cauliflower Alley Club this year. We were doing drills and like we were doing body slam drills, and he picked me up and he's like picked me up like hand all in my cooch, and he's like holding me there, right? And he's just like touching me and rubbing me and stuff. And I'm like, I'm upside down and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm your trainer. I can touch you any way I want to. And so, things like that were happening there. So I was like, well, this is not the school for me because I'm going to go back to jail because I'm going to murder this man. I'm gonna have some issues. So I left that training school and got in with Larry D. And back then it was called PTW, Primetime Wrestling. Legendary Larry D. He went on to do some TNA stuff for a little bit. I got on my basics and stuff with Larry. I got retrained by him. Um, he now still runs a promotion in like Paris, Kentucky, Georgetown, Cynthiana area in Kentucky called Gen Next. And
Okay.
that's because him and his partner split off from Primetime, and Primetime closed down and he opened Gen Next. And he still runs Gen Next in that area. And then I got with Tracy, and like I went on the road with Tracy Smothers, and Tracy taught me how to be respectful in the business. He taught me locker room etiquette. He taught me how to speak Carney. He taught me anything you need to know in the business that was something that you really needed to know. Like I learned from Tracy Smothers.
Okay. So speak Carney. Is that speaking trash? Is that speaking like
No,
promos?
it's an old school wrestling language that wrestlers used to learn speak back in the day. That way you could talk to each other around fans, or like if someone was around and you needed to say something you don't want someone else to know, then
Okay. All right. Hey, I thought I'm learning new lingo. I'm learning new lingo. Right. I'm learning new lingo every time as I do this.
I won't teach you, but
All right. All right.
Rudy knows.
All right. Rudy, go ahead. Well, you got anything for our young lady?
Yeah, so you mentioned Tracy, and I knew Tracy for a period of time. How much of an influence did did Tracy have on you on your wrestling uh, on your wrestling career?
Man, Tracy still influences my career today. Like everything I do now, I model after Tracy. I do the shuffle, I'll throat chop, I throw the pinkies, I give you a little bit of this. But it's like Tracy was a fantastic promo, and I would just sit and watch him when he would be on a show, even if like I was on a show that he and I wasn't on together, and they would bring Tracy in too, and I would just sit in amazement, like when he would go cut his promos and stuff. And I was like, man, I want to be a good promo too, because it's a really big, it's a really big part of the business. So, Tracy had a girl that he trained as well, Jessie Bell, who for the longest time everybody thought was his shoot daughter, and she was my very first match ever, actually, and because of her, I'm still in the business. But Tracy's influence on her influenced me. We became tag partners. OVW, we were the STDs, the Smothers Twisted Daughters. But yeah, Tracy's influence is everywhere. If you look in any locker room still today, you will still see Tracy's influence.
Awesome. I'd like to give our viewers a chance to say something. So my sister Popson says, hello, bro. Thank you. Hey, Kim. Thank you for joining. Jason Heimel says, hello from Moondog Stone, Mobile, Alabama. His question is, it started when wrestling was in the carnival, and we just keep using it to be able to talk around the fans. That's for sure. She knows what she's talking about. So there you go. So thank you guys.
It's a lost art. People don't teach it anymore. People don't speak it anymore. So like if you were lucky enough to actually learn Carney, it's kind of special, I feel like, because the schools and trainers and things now, they don't even teach it anymore. There's not a lot of old school people left. Right. But if you were ever on the road trip with Tracy and he found out you couldn't speak Carney, he would only speak in Carney the entire trip. So you had to learn.
Nice. So you wrestled with various promotions like OVW, WOW. What's the main differences in atmospheres, the style between the promotions you worked for? Is there no? Or does it just all mesh?
Well, I mean, I feel like every promotion has their own kind of thing, like East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. WOW obviously is all women. So, there's no, the only men you have are the commentators and the referees. OVW is TV style, where you learn how to watch or how to perform on TV, learn how to do camera angles and time cues, and making sure that you either make time for your match, what happens if you don't, what happens if you go under, what happens if you go over, it's a training school. So it teaches you things like that. Like the East Coast is, I feel like, more of a strong style area of wrestling, whereas like Tennessee, Georgia is more of a Southern style, laid back, walk and talk, brother, call it in the ring. So
Okay.
it's different flavors of ice cream in different areas.
Okay. Is there a? I don't know how to ask this question because I don't want to put you under the. Is there one that you prefer to work with more? Is there
Okay.
one that you call your home base? How about that?
Well, my home is OVW. That's where I've wrestled at OVW since had my first match at OVW in 2012, I think. So I've been at OVW since 2012 as a wrestler, and then I transitioned over to help with the female talent in 2020 during the pandemic, and I've learned a lot from Al as far as learning how to produce TV segments, um, getting business of matches, and what the promoter of the show wants, and making sure that, like, as a producer, it's your job to make sure that the promoter's vision gets relayed to the talent, and then the talent relay that vision in the ring. So I've learned a lot under Al in that aspect. Recently, well, about a year and a half ago, got a job with the NWA. So I've been floor managing for the NWA for about a year and a half. So he's helped me a lot. Like, working as a producer behind the scenes has helped me a lot. And then at WOW, I also do some behind the scenes agent team matches, helping produce and things like that. So yeah, OVW is my home promotion. It's given me my purpose and my skills to be able to go to the NWA and to go to WOW and do those bigger things.
So, real quick, I have another question. I'll let Rudy talk. So, when you talk about producing and making the promoter's vision come alive, I feel, maybe I'm wrong. There's a lot of indie promotions out there. A lot. I mean, they're all over the place. Do you think that's a lost art in most indie promotions, or do you think that indie promotions have that under control?
No, it is a lost art. There's a lot of promotions that they have a booker, who books all the talent, and then the promoter of the show, and then the booker has to do everything. Like, hey, this is what we want. Like, whoever's in this match, like, this is what we want, and then that booker has the entire show that they have to basically tell them what to do, and then 90% of the time that booker is also wrestling on the show, so they have to worry about their own match as well. And a lot of bigger indie promotions are now stepping up and getting like segment producers or agents to help them, at least two per indie company, to like help them get their stories and like have the talent help the talent get their vision across for what they want to come out of their show. So it's still a lost art in a lot of smaller indie promotions and things like that. It's something that I feel like lots of indies need, because if not, then you have a bunch of either spot fest, or you have a bunch of repetitive same matches that just keep happening over and over and over. So there needs to be a little bit of help there, in my opinion.
All right. Rudy.
So you mentioned WOW, you mentioned NWA, you mentioned OVW. Aren't you working with Juggalo Championship Wrestling also?
I am back with JCW doing some in-ring stuff with my daughter. I started for JCW Juggalo Championship Wrestling back in 2014. I wrestled with them all the way up until like 2019 when I had my knee surgery, and I hadn't been there in probably about 5 years after I rehabbed and everything, and just luckily back over the summer got back into JCW. So I'm very anxious to see where this is going to go. Working with my kid is always fun, makes my heart happy. So yeah.
Oh, so you said working with your kid. So is she teaching you a lot of stuff, or are you teaching her a lot of stuff?
You know what? I feel like we make this joke that she raises me. She's
Okay.
the mom. daughter. It's just a running joke that we have. But I feel like in the business, like we teach each other. It's a give and take, and I absolutely love being able to work with my kid. Like it's there's always, these second generation wrestlers that are like, oh, a daughter or a son who have a father in the business. There's not very many women out there that their mother's in the business. You've got Samantha Starr and Baby Doll, but Baby Doll was already done out of ECW and or WCW and stuff like that before Samantha even started wrestling. And I don't think they've ever really done anything, together outside of maybe a signing or something like that. You have Saraya and Paige, and Saraya was rounding off the end of her career once Paige started wrestling and stuff. And I think they did a couple of tag matches or something in Shimmer back in the day before Shimmer closed down. But to be able to actually sign to a major company with my daughter and to be able to be a tag team with her on television, it's an amazing thing.
Absolutely. Like Amazing Maria, right?
No, no pun intended.
No pun intended. So what's been the biggest hurdle that you've had to face in your indie career?
Well, there's two. My knees. My knees have always been bad. I was a runner in school, so I was an athlete. I played softball, basketball, and I ran track. And I tore my ACL for the first time when I was in high school, and I didn't get it fixed until years later. I never had the first ACL surgery, and then once I had the first surgery, it was a cadaver, which meant it was like out of someone else. It wasn't like they didn't take like a piece of my hamstring to fix my own leg to where my body could, and it didn't take well, and it tore immediately. Basically, I had 2 ACL replacements on my left leg, 1 ACL replacement on my right leg, and then I had a complete knee replacement. Like they were like, nah, fuck it, that's done. You got to get a new knee. And normally they won't even give you a knee replacement until you're like 45, just because it's so demanding on your body, A. And B, they say you have to get a new one in like 10 or 15 years anyway. So they want to try to wait till you're as old as possible to do them. They told me at 32 that I needed a knee replacement. They're like, yeah, this is pretty bad. But we're going to try to hold off. And at 40, they were like, no, we have to do it. Like it's too far gone, and you're an asshole. You're a dumbass. You won't quit wrestling. So, we need to go ahead and do your knee replacement. That, and then the other hurdle is probably politics. I hate wrestling politics. It's horrendous.
Got it. Yeah. Politics. Anywhere you go, man. So, before we go into anything different, so let's talk about your interactions with somebody that's very familiar with Rudy Gonzalez. So, Micah Madrid. How about that?
Sylvia Sanchez.
Let's hear some. Is there any stories you can share about Sylvia Sanchez and you locking it up? Any feuds going on? Or did go on?
Okay, so first of all, I love Micah with my whole heart. She, I'll lock up with her any day. She wrestles strong style if you need her to, and that's my favorite. Like, I love to get in there with somebody that's just gonna fucking go with me and not complain about it. Hit me hard in safe places, and I'm like, yes, bitch, let's go. And Micah is one of those girls. Like, I feel like we could get in there, and if there was an accident and one accidentally like went wild or something, we're like, fuck it, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We would never get mad at each other for it. I watched her from Texas a couple years before I ever even met her. And then Al brought her in to, I actually worked for Rudy on a show years ago, like somewhere one time. But Micah wasn't on the show. It was just me and Crazy Mary Dobson. She was Crazy Mary Dobson at the time, and Pondo. But anyway, I had watched Micah, and then Al brought Micah into OVW to do a show one day. And, we met. I spoke to Rudy and stuff. And so I just got to talking with Micah, and we became friends. And so this will be the 4th year. So 4 years ago, I convinced Al to let me he's done a men's Nightmare Rumble every year for probably almost 20 years now. Okay. This is like the 18th or 19th year. And I finally convinced him to let me do a women's Rumble. And Micah was like the first person that I had on my list to put in the Rumble. And she's been in every Rumble so far that I've had. And it's so funny because I was suspended from OVW for the very first one. So I wasn't allowed to actually be on property to be there for it. And I'm watching it at home, right? And Micah's in the ring and there's another girl in there. And I guess like a few of the girls they would get eliminated for the Rumble, and they'd come and they would text me and they're like, "This girl from Texas is stiff. Why do you have this girl from Texas in the Rumble?" And I'm like, "Y'all are pussies. She's not stiff. She's snug. Hit her back." So
Yeah.
that's what that's what I love about Micah.
All right. Rudy.
You know, I can everything Maria said about Micah, I can speak for her. The feeling is mutual. Nothing but respect for you, Maria.
Oh,
I mean, she loves working with you and Haley and Jesse Bell, you know. I mean, mutual, you know. As far as working stiff and what have you, I mean, that's the way I trained Micah. So that's,
yeah, not
you know,
stiff. It's snug.
we were
It's
I was
fake.
trained to be snug.
Yes.
Thank you.
And,
Get it right, Rudy. Snug.
Right. And make it make it make it
Make it
believable,
believable.
you know. And
Make it mean something.
you
You,
know,
don't have to hit somebody.
I've
five
heard
times.
girls.
You can hit them one time and let them sell it.
Right, exactly. And so everything you're saying, like I said, it's the feeling's mutual. She looks forward like she has that first week or so of January circled on her calendar, and we already know. You know, I'm used to calling a promoter and saying, "Hey, is there a spot available, or do you have anything?" But she already has, you know, January circled, and she'll tell me back in August, back in July, don't forget we got to go to OVW for the women, you know, the Nightmare Rumble, whatever. And I'm like, how do you know you're booked? She goes, oh,
She's
well,
always booked.
I know, I just know.
She's always, as long as I'm the
Yeah.
one helping the ladies, she is
So
always
and
booked.
now and Al, you know, you know, takes care of her also, you know, and you know, there's been a couple of times where you guys have called, like, you know, at the last minute, and you know, it'll be Monday. Can you be here Thursday? And
Yes.
yeah, you know, and she'll say, we got to go to, you know, we got to go to Louisville tomorrow or whatever. And I'm like, all right, you know, I mean, that's the way I was taught also. So I guess a lot of that stuff rubs off on her, you know. I remember one time we were driving up there and it was snowing.
Yes.
And so we were coming up to Dickinson or something, Tennessee.
Yep.
And she, you know, she said, are we still running a show? Are they still? I said, as far as I know, I mean, has Al called you? Has Maria called you? She was like, no, not yet. And then like an hour later, then y'all did call and say, hey, it's going to be canceled, whatever. So we turned around, but I mean, that's just the way, you know.
Al waited till the last minute. He was trying so hard to have that show. And he was like, man, I feel so bad. Like, you know, tell Rudy we'll get him a hotel. I know it's snowing. Like, let's make sure that they're okay. And you're like, we're going.
Al is one of the OVW is one of the few places, the very few places where if you call or Al calls and you know, can you guys be here this week or next week or in 2 months, whatever? We won't. She doesn't even ask about the money part. You know, she doesn't even. You know, she'll just say this is where we're going. You know, and she's learned. You know, and it's just if you want to say this, it's a lost art of being able to just trust promoters. You know, a lot of guys. You know, yes, and I mean, I'll she'll do her thing, and then she'll sell her merchandise or whatever, and we'll come home, go to the hotel or whatever. And I know that like there was one time where I said, we're leaving right away, and I said, "Did you get paid already?" And she said, "They'll send it to me." And I said, "All right."
And then I always message her. I'm like,
and
"You
those
got paid yet?"
places-
And she'll be like, "Nope." And I have to. I'm like, "Let's get it taken care of."
So is it safe to say,
Yeah.
Maria, is it safe to say that one of the difference that sets the big indie stars like you or Micah and people that work for OVW, is it safe to say that these are the guys or ladies that are ready to go at a drop of the hat? If someone calls, they're there. If someone, is it safe to say that it's a lost thing where guys or women don't want to travel to launch their career, and then you look back at them and go, well, it's your fault because you don't get on the road and go where there's a need.
Absolutely. I hear it all the time. Oh, that's a 10-hour drive. I don't want to drive that far. Oh, that's like 6 hours. Anything over 6 hours, I require a flight. Get the fuck out of here. Get in the car and go. My husband's home promotion is in New York. Every month we get in the car and drive to New York, for his home promotion. It's 9 hours. We just get in the car. Sometimes we have to go and turn around and come right back. Other times we get to go and spend the whole weekend, that we can spend the weekend with his son and things like that, and see his friends and the people that he trained with, and his best friend, his tag partner and stuff like that. But yeah, like the younger kids these days, it's like storytelling. It's a lost art. Getting on the road and traveling and just trying to make the name for yourself. They don't want to do that anymore. They come out of a reputable school and be like, oh, well, I was trained by so and so from WWE, and
Right.
automatically expect to get $200 for a booking and trans and a hotel or a flight. And I'm like, that's not how this works. Like,
Right.
that's really
Exactly.
not how it works. Like, who are you? So, yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's a long start.
I might be a mark and be a stupid mark, but who's your husband?
Maximo Suave, or if you ask Rudy, it's Joel or Jose Maximo. Say hello, honey.
He was one of the SATs in Ring of Honor.
He's what?
He was one of the SATs in Ring of Honor.
All right. Well, hopefully
He was one of
him
the
on
Spanish announcing team guys in Ring of Honor.
Okay. So we need to have him on the show so we can tell that story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you definitely need the Maximo's stories because he has more than one.
Rudy, you need to set that up. So, all right.
And he did wrestle Ricky Reyes. So.
All right.
I have to, yeah.
So let's talk about some people maybe that would get up in your feelings. Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. I looked at your Facebook page and you got a message for Allie Albright.
Yes.
What is it? What's the message?
Fight me. You want your title back? Fight me. That's straight up. I'm not wrestling you. We're scheduled to wrestle again next month, but I'm not going to wrestle her. If she wants the title, come get it. Come take it from me. That's my message. Straight up.
Is there some lost frustration?
No. She's too soft. She's a baby. All right. She was trained by my daughter's pop. She was trained at Grindhouse by Reverend Ronnie Roberts. And, Ronnie's like me. He's old school. He's like, these kids need to be tough. And I was actually the Grindhouse Women's Champion back in 2019, and I never lost the title. I had to relinquish the title because I had to have knee surgery.
Right.
And then when the time came, I was cleared when they had their little tournament to put the title back on someone. The title was vacated when I vacated in 2019 up until 2024, I think, maybe. And I was not a part of the tournament. And I'm like, hold on, I never lost the title. Like, hello, So I said, it don't matter. Whoever wins, just know I will come for you. And when I come for you, I'm going to take what's mine. And that's what happened. So I took it. I beat her
All
for
right.
it. And if she wants it back, she's going to have to fight me.
All right. Rudy?
Yeah. So when my son was, I coached Little League football. And one of the things I saw when I was coaching Little League football were coaches coaching their own kids. And so when my son became of age to play football, I stopped coaching. I didn't want to. I saw the way the dads were treating their kids and a little bit more and stuff. And so I guess my question is, working with Haley, is there any kind of like friction? Like you critique her matches a little bit differently than you would Micah? Do you
No.
do you kind of like get on her a little bit more than you would everybody else?
Yes.
You know
I'm
what I'm
harder on
saying?
Haley. I'm harder on Haley. I too used to coach Little League basketball, and Haley's coach actually had me to help her assist when Haley was in like fourth, fifth grade. And then I coached my son's Little League basketball team when he was in sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. And I was so much harder on my two kids because I saw it too. I saw how the kids would get favoritism. The kids would get to play like the whole game and they would just suck, you know? And I'm like, I'm not going to be that kind of coach. I was very hard. And Haley being a girl, I was even harder on her because the world in general is mean. And when it comes to being a girl in the world and then a girl being in professional wrestling, it's terrible. You know, you go through a lot of things. So I was very hard on Haley and Logan, my son, like in sports and school, things like that. But I was very open and very honest with them, the reasons why. When Haley got into wrestling, like I never sugarcoat anything for her. And when I critique something of hers, or if she comes and asks me for advice, like when it came to training Haley, no, it wasn't. I didn't want anybody to say, oh, she was trained by her mom, so she's getting this match because of her mom. She's getting this because of her mom. Absolutely not. Um, her trainer and I used to be
Right.
together for like 8 years. So that's literally, she considers him her dad. And so when she wanted to train, and Ronnie even says it in the documentary, he's like, nobody else was going to do it but him, you know, like nobody knows how she works. He watched her growing up as a child. He watched her mentality on the basketball court. She was an AAU national basketball player. This child played AAU national football and won an AAU national football league in Daytona Beach. Um, like she was the only girl on the football team. She played tackle football from second grade until sixth grade. And she was going to play in middle school, but it was the same time as girls basketball. And so she was like, Mama, I think I'm going to stick with basketball because I know I can go further, you know? And she played AAU basketball up until she graduated high school. But yeah, there was no way I wanted to be a part of like the training process for her. Like if she wanted advice or whatever, absolutely. But when it came to training her, no. Reverend Ronnie did that. And he was the only person that I would trust to train her and train her properly because I knew A, he wasn't going to be easy on her. B, she wasn't going to go through certain things that girls go through in the business. Like, you know, the story I said at CAC with one of my trainers. She's texting me. Will you text her and tell her I'm doing a podcast, please? And see what she's wanting. We spoke her up. She's, you know, blowing my phone up. But yeah, like I was harder on her 100%.
So down here in
Right,
Florida,
right.
I have a promotion I watch. I attend. It's XIW Extreme Impact Wrestling. They have a women's champion, La Brava Escobar.
You know what? I love her.
Okay, so you know her.
Yes, I do.
She's one bad bitch. I'll
Yes,
say that.
yes, she is.
I mean, I don't know how to say it. but
She is a bad bitch.
she has the character, she dresses the character, she works it, and she lives it. So have you had any interactions with La Brava?
So I've never wrestled La Brava, but she wrestled I met her on some shows in Nashville. She wrestled for CCW for a little while. And CCW runs in Nashville and in Florida. They run in Kissimmee and then they run in Nashville. And then when they would do the Nashville loop, she would come up. And I met her on a show that Haley actually wrestled Christy James on. And then La Brava was wrestling Camille. And I watched Camille and her have this match. And I was just like, oh, wow, this chick's got it. Like, she's tough, and I just liked it. So I talked to her in the locker room, and we became friends from that day.
Awesome. So which opponent that you faced has pushed you the hardest?
Ooh. An opponent that pushed, you know what? Mickey Knuckles. Mickey has probably pushed me harder. Like, I've had a lot of matches with Mickey, and Mickey is such a fucking professional, yo. Our very first match ever that she and I had, I was green as good shit. I mean, I was so green. And she was brought in because this was some guys from the very first training school where I was at that really didn't teach me very well. And for whatever reason, I still don't know to this day, she doesn't either, but they brought her in to wrestle me to beat me up. Like, they told her that I was disrespectful. They told her that I was not easy to work with and all these things. And just so happened, like, she was dating a guy that I knew, and he had already told her that he's like, they're lying. Like, she's not disrespectful. She respects the business so much. And I've never known her to be difficult to work with or anything like that. So it was funny because she came in and Rev and I were training in the ring. And when her and the guy she was dating at the time came in, she looks up at me and she's like, hey, I'm Mickey. And I was like, oh, I jump out of the ring and I'm like, yes, I'm so happy to meet you. And she looks at me and she goes, have you ever taken a German suplex, a power bomb, and a pump handle slam? And I was like, no, ma'am. And she's like, well, you're going to tonight in the match. I'm going to go change my clothes. And then we're going to work on this. And I was like, all right, cool. So she comes back and we get in the ring and we do all three of the moves in like less than a minute. She tells me, she goes, shoot me into the corner, go up for a 10 punch. I'm going to pull you out, give you a sit out power bomb. I want you to roll back, sell to me, feed for a German. I'm going to give you the German, and then I'll grab you for the pump handle slam. I want to make sure that you can take all three of these because these are the three things that I'm going to hit you with tonight in our match. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so we do it, like boom, pump handle or power bomb, German, pump handle slam. And she like her bra breaks, right? And she goes, I'm going to go to the back and I'm going to change. I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay. And I asked Rev, I was like, did I take those okay? Like, I was nervous. I was scared to death. I'm like, did I mess up? Did I fuck it up? And he's like, no, they look good. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I'm like, all right, cool. Had no idea. So she goes back to the back. She comes back and she goes, come here. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. So I get out of the ring. I go outside and she and I are sitting outside on the like little porch thing. And she's like, I need to talk to you about something. She goes, in our match tonight, like, oversell everything I do to you. Like, just if you can, like, I understand you're new and whatnot, but make it look like I'm just murdering you. And I was like, okay, I'll do my best. And she's like, and then she told me, she was just like, the guys that brought me in to beat you up. They said you were disrespectful, this, that, and the third. And she's like, listen, I'm not that kind of girl. I came in, I asked you a question. You got out of the ring, you shook my hand, like, and she was like, you did everything I asked you to do. You had no problem. You didn't buck me. We're going to go have a good match tonight. And I was like, awesome. Thank you. And I was just like beside myself we still don't know why that they said those things or why they brought her in to do that. But that was my very first ever match with Mickey. And then after that, I've wrestled her probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 times in my career. And after that, like, I was just like, I felt like Mickey was somebody I could trust in the ring. So if we didn't call anything, if we just went and had a match, we would just go have a match. or, you know, if we called shit, I knew it was going to be a good match. But she has been the person that has pushed me to be better in every match that I've ever had with her. And like me and my old tag partner, Samantha Heights, had a tag match with her and Demetria De Rosa from Georgia at Heroes and Legends. And it was such a good match. Like, I was so thankful for that. She gave me like the Chris Jericho triple power bomb on a table. And yeah, like I love Mickey. I love wrestling her. I love her as a person. Yeah.
So Mick, let's go. Thank you for that story. That's awesome. Rudy.
Mickey's good people. Mickey's good people.
Yes.
I like her a
I'm
lot.
very
Hey, just we were a couple of weeks ago, Scott. We were talking about female talent from Florida, and we talked about La Brava, but I was trying to think of. Do you remember Persia? Do you know Persia Pierce?
I've heard the name.
Maria?
Persia, is it Persia Pierce or Persia Perez?
Persia Pierce.
Pierce, yeah.
No. I don't think I know her.
No, Portia Perez. Yeah, Portia Perez is another girl. This girl's name is Persia Pierce. She's really good also.
All right.
From Florida. So I just met a girl this weekend at WrestleCade who is new, a little over a year in. Beautiful girl. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. She's so pretty. And she is yoked, bro. She is yacked. Her name is Nikki Blackheart.
Yes.
This girl is going to be phenomenal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Nikki Blackheart. Yes. I know the name.
Right.
Once she gets her bearings under her, she is going to be phenomenal if she sticks with this. And I just met her this weekend, and she's very hungry and very willing to like travel and learn. She's one of those girls that we talked about this over the weekend too. It was like, hey, listen, if you ever want to come to Kentucky and learn how to do TV, just let me know, because I can offer that to you. Like, we can't pay you a whole lot. We will pay you, but you will get a hell of knowledge. I know it's like 12 hours. And she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I want to get reps in everywhere. And I'm like, yes. So
That's what, back to that
Right.
question I asked you. That's the difference, in my opinion.
yes.
I got, I know a couple of male wrestlers that work for XIW. Jackson Slade, Damian Wayne. They all put in the miles. They don't care.
I know
the
Damian
miles-
very well.
Yeah, miles is what I hear. Miles merch. Be where you need to be.
Miles and merch. Have that merch get strong, especially if you're a babyface.
Yep. So
Right.
Can we talk about the Netflix, how it was with the cameras around you every moment? There was a part where they talked about Haley J and all the interactions you have with your daughter. And how is this Netflix documentary, has it launched your career? Has it stalled your career? What has it done for your career?
I don't think a lot has changed for me per se. Like, it helped Haley project a little bit. You know, she gained a big social media following. It helped people understand who she is as a person, which I'm very thankful for, because when Haley first got into wrestling, she got a lot, like, people coming at her a lot for like trying to say that she was culturally appropriating and things like that, and just stuff that's not true. And nobody would give her the chance to actually get to know her, get to know where she came from, get to know anything that this child has been through in her life. And Netflix helped that a little bit and helped her, help people gain a better perspective of her. For me, I feel like I'm just old. My time's up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to do another big run or anything like that. It did show that I was a producer at OVW, and I feel like it helped me with NWA, because I didn't get on as the floor director for NWA until, after Netflix had dropped and everything. So it has helped. It has helped in its own ways. Oh, Smokey's come to join.
Rico? I'm Rico.
Or Midnight, sorry.
Rudy.
How? I know, or I don't know really. Do you think Do you think that Netflix helped what's his name, Cash Flow, get into the
100%.
Rocky, the Sylvester Stallone miniseries, whatever?
Tulsa King.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I think
I saw him on there.
and here's
Yes,
the
yeah,
thing.
there you go. Yeah.
There were a few of us that Netflix followed around, right? Like a lot. Cash being one of them, Haley being one of them. And some of the other guys that were featured on the Netflix series, I feel like they maybe didn't really go out and like chase the ball once it dropped, but Cash did. Like people started like he got a little notoriety for being in the series and stuff, and he did such a great job in Wrestlers. And he was advised to get like an agent, and he just did a little dabble into the acting thing. And it's so funny because his character on Tulsa King was only supposed to be like a couple episodes or something like that, and then he was supposed to get killed off. And Stallone loved him. He did such a good job that they rewrote his character into the show to continue on. So he was, he
Oh
was
wow.
literally, yeah, he was literally supposed to be just a couple episodes, and then he get killed off on the show, the character. And Sylvester Stallone loved him, absolutely loved him, and they rewrote it. They rewrote his character, and his character went on and to like finished out season 2. They just finished up filming or season 3's out now, and I think they're filming now season 4. So, and he's still going strong.
I know it's later on your end than it is our end.
I had called him a while back about Cash Flow, about coming down, and I gave him a date and stuff. He said, "Let me see." He said, "I don't think I can do it because I'm doing a project right now, and I really can't say a whole lot about it. But let me see what I can work out." And I never heard from him again. So I figured he was just thinking, you know what, screw Rudy, I'm not going to go down to Texas, And then Mike is a big Sylvester Stallone mark. So we're watching Tulsa King. We're watching it, all the episodes. And I like Stallone also, but I'm just not as interested as she is. So I'm there half-ass watching, and I see him walk by, and I'm like, oh, wait, oh shit, that's Cash Flow. What the hell? So I called him later. I'm like, was that project you're talking about? Was that Tulsa King? He goes, yeah, it was. I couldn't say anything about it though. I'm happy for him, man. I mean, the way he came off on Wrestler was very sincere, and I mean, I'm the same way, I guess. I mean, we're older, and we're as long as we're in the business, we're still trying to get something, And he talked about that on the Wrestlers, and it is very sincere, and everything he said, I completely felt it. I understood. And then he gets this deal on Tulsa King.
Yeah, it's so funny because Cash Flow is such a big teddy bear. Like he really is a genuinely nice guy. You know how like you see people and then like they have this nice guy act or whatever, but Cash really is that nice guy. And that's why he came across so genuine on the show, is because I mean that's just who he is. He's a good dude, And I've known Cash Flow for my whole wrestling career, 20 years.
Yeah.
He's always been that way. Like he's never hit a change up. Like he's just Cash Flow. Good old Mike. Like he's a good guy.
Jalen Stewart. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Huge Pop. Always doing.
I was happy for him when I saw him.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jalen. So Cash Flow. I don't know. I guess I'm not in the business far enough, but Cash Flow. I guess I have to look him up and do some research on him. So.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Watch him. You can go back and watch him on some old school OVW. You can catch him on some IWA Mid-South.
All right. So, question for you. I know it's late. I know we want to get this over so you can go to bed. I want to respect your time. What's the little known fact about wrestling business that fellow wrestlers or fans don't know? What's a little known fact that we should know that we wouldn't even think about?
Huh. I don't know. That's a good one. A known fact about
About the
wrestling.
business. About the
About the
business. 'Cause I think as
A little
fans,
known
I'll be
fact.
honest, as fans, I think that, man, you guys got this career. You're going out and having fun.
Oh, I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. We're not rich, bro. Nah. We
I
did.
mean, I
They-
know because
Listen.
I've been into business long enough to of doing interviewing independents and hanging out with the independent guys. I know that you guys don't make the money
It's
people
so
think
fun.
they do.
Because there's a saying that, Haley says now, like, being rich and being famous are two completely different things. You can be famous and not be rich. 100%.
100%.
Yeah, just we're broke. We're all broke.
And that's what I like about the people I've met. Okay, like for instance, I'll take you for example. You love what you do.
Yes.
Haley's out at
You froze
Haley's
up.
out in Houston with Booker T.
Yes.
How does she like it out there?
She likes it. She felt like, she had been here at OVW for 4 years and it was time to try to move to the next step. Like obviously the goal is to get to WWE. So
Right.
you want to make sure that you're known in different places. And, Booker's got a WWE ID school. She's been down there for almost a year now, training every week at his school. She's his champion right now for his platinum brand. And, she's very grateful to be able to be there and to be able to train at Booker's. So
Now that she's with Booker, does that make it harder for her to come on a podcast like this?
it makes it very hard on me that she's in Texas because, used to I would see my daughter every day and now I have to call her every day on the phone to see her every day.
Right. Yeah.
And it's hard on her to be out there by herself. Like she's got a child, and he's in school. So she can't pick Zayden up and take him to Texas and not have him be in school and everything. So during school, he's with his dad and, while she does wrestling and everything like that. And like, that's her whole reason. Like Zayden is her whole reason to do this and to try to make it. So, it's very hard on all of us, I feel like.
Okay. Now, I guess my question does she have to go through Booker and all them to come on a podcast, or is it some like easy like reaching out to her?
So with Haley, as far as podcasts go, she doesn't do a lot of podcasts. Her main.
Uh-oh. I scared her away, Rudy. I asked the wrong question. I was just curious, man. I don't know. So we've been talking with Amazing Maria. She's had some great stuff she's been talking about. OVW, OVW, WOW, Micah Madrid. We talked about her. And I don't know what happened to our guest. I really wish hopefully he comes back so we can close the show. Rudy, so how was WrestleCade, man?
Oh man, it was I've gone to River City Wrestling Con 3, 4, 5 times maybe. And that's a class act organization. WrestleCade is wow. I mean, it's the way Super Bowl is to the NFL, I feel like anyway. The way the Super Bowl is to the NFL, WrestleMania is to wrestling. I think WrestleMania. I'm sorry. I think WrestleCade.
I think I got kicked out because my
there
son
she
tried to
is.
call. I'm sorry.
I thought I made you
I
mad.
think
I
WrestleCade
didn't-
is. I think
No.
WrestleCade is at that same level. It's like WrestleCade is like a celebration of pro wrestling. It's there's old timers there. There's the young guys. There's the women. There's fans. There's podcasters, photographers, um, people selling memorabilia. I mean, there's everybody there, and the guy Tracy Myers has 2 floors of that building, 4 different rooms, and then one room is an arena. And
He's so
I was looking
tickets.
at yeah, how many?
He sold over 10,000 tickets this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
get
Well,
to
okay,
go.
so I was getting to that. So somebody posted on social media on Facebook like something about a no-name promotion or something, and I'm thinking, man, if this no-name promotion sold 10,000 tickets, holy cow, I mean, it's just I mean, and then he has this group of he has a staff that they're all over the place, man. I mean, it's the first time that we've been there, and Tracy and Josh, Jerry, and
Brian.
everyone, all the guys treated us like, yeah, Brian. They treated us like, like we were somebody. I mean, the hospitality was unbelievable. If anyone has a chance and they haven't gone to WrestleCade yet, man, I mean, it's something to go to. You see guys from Luke Hawks to Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, the girls were there. Micah was there, and then they had from WoW the Island Girl, and then there were the OVW women there. And then in another room they had some of the girls from AEW. I mean, it was crazy, man. It was I enjoyed it. I have a little stepper thing that I calculate on my phone so I can get my 10,000 steps in, and I got 10,000. I got my 10,000 steps within a few hours. I mean, it was crazy.
No,
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
That's why I asked it.
Well, it's so funny because like every year, after WrestleCade is over, and everybody's posting their pictures and things like that. And my very first post, it always has to be a thank you to Telly, who runs Ladies Night Out, to Brian, and to Tracy, because they do such a good job putting on that show. And people really don't understand how much work it is. Like, Tracy doesn't sleep. Like, Tracy will be up, all 3 days. He'll sleep maybe 10 hours over the entire 3 days total, and like those 3 guys put like their heart and soul into WrestleCade. And like, I know I'm a nobody, but I feel like I'm like, somebody needs to tell them thank you because they do such a good job.
Well, I'm going to stop you there. Don't say you're a nobody. I watch your videos. I see your stuff. I appreciate you as a wrestler, as a female wrestler, as a helping the promotion, etc. So I just want you to know that. You're not.
Well, thank you. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you've been around. You know your shit. You got the concepts down. You teach your daughter. You're teaching your daughter, etc., etc. So yeah, but no, I would love to go to WrestleCade, but I have a situation where my wife and I run an emergency shelter. We get 28 days off a year. She's not a wrestling fan at all. She supports me in doing what I do. So I get one event, maybe 2 a year. So I got to pick, and I live near Jacksonville. So it's River City WrestleCon, but I want to try to make something. I was going to try to get out to Vegas next year to CAC, but I'm trying to figure out where podcast guys fit in those arenas.
Yeah.
I know at River City we fit. Now I know at WrestleCade we'd fit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we'd be over at CAC, but yeah. Let me see. But yeah, so if you had to close the show, can you tell fans? Do you have any words for fans about what's coming up for you? And any advice for women wanting to get into the business?
Okay, I'll go with the women first, just because I am a woman in the business, and being a woman in the business is hard. So get a thick skin, like just you know what I mean. Like a lot of girls take so much to heart, or can't take a joke, or can't like just have a thick skin. This business will eat you alive if you let it. You know, if you want to be in this business, be a tough bitch, have a thick skin, and go out there and make your mark.
Yep.
That's what I. Um, as far as like things coming up or whatnot, JCW is going to be in Wisconsin for the Big Ballers Christmas party. So JCW is coming up at, I can't remember exactly the date off the top of my head. It's either January 20th or 19th, 20th, 21st. It's one of those 3 days. OVW has their next pay-per-view December 20th, 19th, 20th, or 21st. OVW's next pay-per-view is on the 21st, December 21st. You can watch OVW live, same with JCW on YouTube. They both are on at the same time on Thursday nights, which drives me crazy. But
Thursday nights?
Yeah, Thursday nights at 7, OVW is live, JCW Lunacy is live. On YouTube. You can
I
also
gotta Google up those are promotions, and they got a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Right.
Or like if you just open YouTube and go to what's on live, it tells you like the
Okay.
things that are on
Awesome.
at the time.
Okay.
So like JCW Lunacy goes live at 7. OVW also goes live at 7. OVW has a secondary show called Overdrive that airs every Tuesday night at 7. Every Tuesday night at 7. It's called OVW Overdrive. So it's our taped show. So like when we film on Thursdays, we do live TV from 7 to 9, but we do the TV show for Tuesday. We record it on Thursdays as well, at 6. So from 6 to 7, and then we put it out on Tuesdays. So Overdrive comes out on Tuesdays.
And OVW's in Kentucky, correct?
Yes, Louisville, Kentucky, 4400 Shepherdsville Road. If you want to come see us live. Rudy's been there. We got a great building. We got a great setup. It's always a good time. Crowd's always energetic. Like it's fun.
All right, I'll have to check it up if I make it up that way to Louisville. My family lives in Indiana, Anderson, Indiana. So
okay, you got to come right through. So yeah. Come up on a Thursday, spend Thursday night with OVW, and then drive on through and spend the weekend with your family.
All right, couple shoot questions.
Okay.
Chair shot or stepping on Legos?
Chair shot.
Okay. We talked about promos. Have you ever or will you ever cut a promo while ordering your meal at McDonald's?
I help.
No?
I have.
You have.
Man, I've cut promos everywhere.
All right. Pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
What do you think about Rudy Gonzalez?
I love Rudy. I give him a lot of shit, but I love him.
Yep. Oh,
No, I was just kidding. So, I know we talk about, the Mount
Here.
Rushmore of wrestlers. Can you give me 4 of the top female wrestlers that we need to pay attention that are in the indies right now?
Oh, 100% Hollywood Haley J, the Bougetta was bad day. Duh. Up and comer, Nikki Blackheart. Brittany Brooks is making waves. I love her little spunky attitude. And I gotta give it to my girl, the ultimate athlete, J-Rod. She just come off of doing American Gladiators, filmed it over in France, and I've been helping her like get on at WOW and like come up in OVW, and she's coming into her own as a wrestler, and I feel like she's someone that everybody needs to keep their eyes on. Yeah, the ultimate athlete.
Ultimate athlete. So, guys, it's been an hour, great hour. We've talked with Amazing Maria, aka Big Rig Betty. We didn't talk about the we didn't talk about that tag team. We talked about Maria James and everything going through the business. We talked about the WrestleCade. We talked about OVW, WOW, Women of Wrestling. I thank you for the opportunity to listen to your stories. Before we go, I know we said this already. Is there a quick road story that you could share?
Oh, well, all right. So I usually tell the story about Tracy and the first time I ever went on the road with him, but can I tell a ring story? Because
Sure.
it has, okay. So, so this is a WoW story and it's a Micah story. Back our second season at WoW, I think it was Micah's first season in, and we had a tag match against her and her tag partner that she had. And I love Micah for this. I had no idea she was going to do it until after it happened. But her and Haley were in the ring together. And she put Haley in a hold and she reached over. Now, I don't know if you know this about Haley, but Haley wears really big eyelashes. Okay. Really big eyelashes. And she's known for her eyelashes. And Micah had known because their makeup time was at the same time. And Micah had heard Haley say that was her very last pair of eyelashes. She needed to make sure that she didn't lose one. Like, that's the only pair she had, for this taping. And Micah, the ribber that she is, we're in the ring, we're wrestling. I tag Haley in. Haley's, in there taking heat. And Micah puts her in a hold and she reaches down and rips off one of Haley's eyelashes.
Oh no.
And she puts it in her shirt. She holds on to it so she didn't lose it, right? But she didn't let Haley know. And Haley was so mad. Like, when we got out of that ring, we win the match. We come down and we're in the ring first, like trying to get our beauty shot, right? And Haley just jerks her hand down. She gets out of the ring and I'm like, where are you going? And she's so mad. I'm like, what is wrong? She goes, she ripped off my eyelash. I don't have another fucking pair of eyelashes. I don't know what I'm going to do. We go through the curtain and Micah is standing there just laughing with Haley's eyelash. And she's like,
nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. So thank you for that story. Rudy, thank you for being part of the Huge Pop Entertainment. I'm going to play the exit song, which is the same song we played before. Don't go nowhere. I would like to say thank you off camera, okay?
Sure.
Thank you, everybody. Huge Pop Entertainment. Rudy is my co-host. Come on and see us every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Central, unless something crazy happens. And check our shows out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, same time, same channel. I appreciate you guys, and we're Huge Pop Wrestling for life, right?